Hey everyone, I'm Sue and welcome back for another episode of Does This Notion Really Work? And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you the Orange Pop ruler sets by Kimberbell. If you love machine embroidery, sewing, and notions, be sure to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the little dinger button because that will give you alerts every time I upload a new video. The Orange Pop rulers were created by Kimberbell, a Utah-based company since 2009. Kimberbell's CEO and creative visionary is Kim Christopherson. She is a sweet, kind human, not to mention the talent and the things that she has done in her career. In fact, every time I get to see her, she's done something new and she's created some amazing new things, machine embroidery projects, classes, and honestly, she's just one of those people that I am really privileged and honored to call my friend. Kim has graced the pages of all the leading sewing magazines, such as Quilts and More and Designs in Machine Embroidery. She's even had a guest appearance on The Rachel Ray Show, and she's had almost a dozen collections of fabric printed through Maywood Studios. The Orange Pop rulers we're going to talk about today, I am really thrilled about because they solve the classic problem that quilters and machine embroiderers struggle with of where do you cut. So without further ado, we're going to talk about the Orange Pop rulers by Kimberbell. First thing, let's go ahead and open up the package. There are two different sizes and shapes of the Orange Pop ruler sets. There is a square set and rectangular. For this particular part, we're going to go ahead and focus on just the square. It comes with different pieces. The square comes with 3 different square outlines, and they're in different sizes, which we'll cover later. They all fit in with one another, and then there is a center square. When cutting with the Orange Pop set, you're going to want to use a rotating cutting mat like the one I have here. It also comes with some little gripper stickers. Just place those on the corners of the back of your rulers, however you'd like. They don't have to be exactly at the corners. I found it worked the best that way. One thing I think is super cool about the Orange Pop rulers is you'll notice that they all nest within one another and they are slightly clear. You are going to want to use a rotary cutter that is rotating like this Olfa rotating cutting mat. It makes cutting so much easier. Now let's talk about rotary cutters. You can use any style rotary cutter, just make sure it's a 45 millimeter. It works the best. I have to say it's so cool that you can use these rulers for fussy cutting. Now because the ruler sets all are nesting within one another, you can kind of decide, do you need to have all 3 of them? Do you need only 1? Do you need 2? I found that 2 for this particular size was really ideal. It gave me a little bit more, I don't know, kind of like more security when I was cutting. And you're just going to cut, rotate, and repeat it until you are finished. One of the coolest things about machine embroidering and using the Orange Pop rulers is you don't have to worry about placement. Just simply stabilize your materials appropriately. And here I'm using a quilt cotton type material and I'm just using an iron-on tearaway. I'm just going to hoop my material, just center it up, and again, I'm not worried about placement. Just make sure you get that material into the hoop nicely and follow your machine embroidery techniques. Embroider your design. This actually comes from Enchanted Unicorns. It's a super cute design. Once you're finished stitching, go ahead and remove your materials from your hoop and gently remove the stabilizer. And in this case, again, it was an iron-on tearaway stabilizer. I'm just going to gently remove by holding my stitches. You can get all the little pieces out as you like, but we'll do that later. Now here's a perfect example of where the square wasn't really kind of flattering the shape and look of the design, and I used the rectangle set instead. So the rectangle has more pieces, but we are using the same principles where we're using the 2 inside pieces to get a really nice shape. I think it's cool that you have this option. The rectangle and the square are sold separately, so keep that in mind, but I have to say right now I couldn't live without either of them. Let's go ahead and cover the square. The square center from the square set is actually designed for half square triangles. So there is a couple of lessons that I have already, and I'll share those in the links of how to create a half square triangle. And this particular ruler is going to really help you line it up right on the seam. And then you're going to go ahead and use it to cut around your shape. On the half square triangle ruler, there is a little 1/4 inch mark on the outside that you can just line up a 1/4 inch past that seam, and it even cuts the ends off, and now you have a perfect half square triangle. What's really cool is on the inside portion of the center square, it's got the same kind of thing for a smaller half square triangle. So you can just go ahead and use it the exact same way. Use that little 1/4 inch mark and cut all those pieces away. Again, it trims off the dog ears and makes pressing perfect every time. The rectangular set comes with the same 3 outside pieces, but now there are 3 extra pieces. And this is actually a ruler for flying geese. And it has 2 different size options. I'm just going to show you kind of the basic one here. You can do in the hoop flying geese. You can also do paper pieced or basic construction. But once you have it all finished, this is how I took advantage of how the template worked. You also have a tumbler block. This was really cool to me because I didn't have one of these and I've always kind of wanted one. There's a lot of designers that use these and I just thought it was really cool. Basically, you just lay your materials, kind of stack them, and then lay that tumbler block template on top and just cut all the way around. Once you have that, you're going to go ahead and stitch these together, top, bottom, top, and so forth. Just like that, you've got your seams finished and it's beautiful. The last little template that comes with this is basically just a 3.5 inch ruler with a 1/4 inch guide. I mean, seriously, you could use this for all kinds of things. I find that, finding the center, drawing a line, adding a 1/4 inch, you can do it super fast. This is a little guide that you can kind of keep in your drawer next to your sewing machine. I think it's really useful. Because the rulers are thick enough, you can even use them to cut. Now remember I said earlier that the square set comes with 3 insert templates, and the measurements for those basically are 4.5, 6.5, and 8.5 squares. This would give you blocks that are finished at 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. Now the rectangular set comes with the same 3 outside templates, but it's going to be for 4.5 by 6.5, 6.5 by 8.5, and then the final largest one would be 8.5 by 10.5. This will give you 3 different size blocks finished at 4 by 6, 6 by 8, 8 by 10. So what did you think of that? I mean, honestly, now quilters and machine embroiderers are going to be able to find where to cut with no problem. And you're probably wondering, where can you get your very own sets of the Orange Pop rulers? Well, you can walk right into your local dealer and I'm sure they're going to have them there. If not, let them know you saw this video and that you want a set desperately. You can also go to Kimberbell's website. The link is in the description below and it'll bring you to where you can find a store that's located near you. And now you're probably wondering, what do the Kimberbell Orange Pop rulers retail for? Anywhere between $49.95 and $64.95. And if you liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And also, you gotta leave a comment below for your chance to win your very own set of the Orange Pop rulers by Kimberbell. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, join my weekly newsletter, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and come join our Facebook fan club, where we have fun every single day. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe below. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.